Today I'm leaking some confidential information. I'm finally going to explain why I haven't signed to Sentinels or any other org as a content creator. But that's only one out of the 5 things I'll be leaking in this video, including who I want to sign with, what I want to do with the org, when I aim to be signed by, and where I want to relocate. If you don't know me, my name is ElevenZ and I'm a Valorant creator who grew kinda quick from TikTok and expanded it to YouTube and Twitch. However, there is one extremely unique factor in my case that is acting as a roadblock and preventing me from signing with an org. But before I reveal what this roadblock actually is, let's talk about who I would most likely sign with. So in the Valorant space, there are only 3 organizations that sign Valorant creators: NRG, 100 Thieves, and Sentinels. Even in pro play, there are only 3 organizations that play professional Valorant, as you can see here. This year, only NRG made it to VCT 2023, and so they won the whole tournament by default. This is actually something I've heavily considered when trying to choose between the 3 orgs, because as you know, you have to be Radiant at Valorant to create good content. And if you're not Radiant, you're actually brained, not even trolling, skull emoji times 7, to the power of the square root of the temperature of the sun, multiplied by pi, divided by the perpendicular color of the noise. In terms of 100 Thieves, they have the word thieves in their organization name, and so that makes me shiver my timbers. And so I don't think I would feel safe walking around their headquarters, always living with the fear that someone is going to rob me 100 times and steal my $20 Apple earbuds. But we still haven't talked about Sentinels yet. The Sentinels wear the color red, and red is my favorite color, and so I'm tempted to just disregard every other consideration and just sign with Sentinels because of the color red. I'm like a raging bull. Whenever I see the color red, I just charge at it. But that wouldn't be a smart decision. I feel like you should be comfortable signing to an org because of the org itself and also their goals, not because of the color of their jersey. If the Sentinels wore a blue jersey, I wouldn't even consider signing with them. If I was to sign with an org, I wouldn't continue to just do my daily content routine. I would completely change. I would wear my org's jersey every day and every night, and I would wear it to sleep and in the shower. I would make sure to be strapped with 7 jerseys at all times, so that I can wear a different one every day and not have to worry about washing them, because that's how clothes washing works. I would also bark and meow for the CEO of the org every morning on FaceTime, and buy them a coffee every morning, because I would be so grateful for the opportunity to get signed. This is because you need to be signed to an org in order to grow. If you're not signed to an org, then you can't grow anywhere. All of my growth over the past year without an org was just an optical illusion, and it will all disappear on Tuesday unless this video gets 100 likes. All of the creators that have grown to huge followings even without an org, they were all secretly signed to an org called D's, which is spelled N-U-T-T-S. D's. I simply cannot grow without an org. And so if I was signed, I would work 100 times harder than I do today and keep working even through burnout. I would even get all the logos of the org sponsors tattooed on my feet, like little Lucky Charms, and I would eat cereal from my Crocs as well. It is currently September 2023, and I began my content journey in March of 2022. Ideally, I'd like to sign in a month that has no rainfall for 90 consecutive days, since the rain would wash off all of my hard work and talent I've been developing since 1998. I was born in 2002, by the way. Also, I'd like to sign with an org only on a Wednesday, but not including public holidays, because you need to take breaks and never work through burnout. However, there is one conflicting error I can identify since it is the year 2023. I only sign contracts during a year that ends with an even number. You might think this is strange, or you might think I'm superstitious, but I'm not. There was an old tale I heard in 1977 detailing the effect of water on the brain. In this study, they took Apple products from the early 2000s and diluted them with Samsung phones. And in the end, they discovered nothing, and it was a complete waste of time. And so similarly, I would only like to sign a contract in January of 2024, and on a Wednesday, assuming that there's no rainfall for the entire 90 days of January. I currently live in Australia, and we have some of the worst internet in the world. If any of you guys are from Australia or just have bad internet in general, comment unlucky TBH down below. And so if I was to get signed, it would make the most sense to relocate. Not to USA, but to China, so I can compete in the brand new Valorant League in China. I don't speak Chinese, and so communication might be an issue. However, I know how to say ice cream, and so I could probably survive on ice cream for 6 months before I start to feel the health effects. If I relocated to the US, I'd probably also experience communication issues because I don't speak American and I've never been there before. I'd probably have to hire a local tour guide and translator so I can order food from Chipotle, Kus, and M. But I feel like after another 6 months there, I'd also start to feel the health effects. In terms of the type of housing I'd live in, I'm happy to live anywhere as long as it has decent internet. If I could create a gaming setup in a garbage bin, I probably would. And besides, I used to have my gaming setup on the floor after I got hit by an earthquake. I actually take pride in creating gaming setups in the most strange places and in the most scuffed way possible. One of my dream setups is a setup completely strapped to the ceiling. You'd need a ladder to get up there and everything would be upside down. Since you'd be gaming upside down for hours, you'd start to get lightheaded and eventually you'd pass out. This is actually an intended design feature because it's like an automatic NAND that puts you to sleep when you've been gaming for too long. And so this leads to why I haven't signed to an org and the one roadblock that affects me specifically. I'm actually gonna stop trolling for a second, so pay attention to what I'm about to say. This is my understanding of it all. Let's think about why an org would sign a content creator in the first place. Every contract in life is designed so that it's mutually beneficial for both parties. And this includes content creator contracts. The way that orgs benefit from signing a content creator as a streamer is that they can use their creators' viewership in order to receive more payments from the org's sponsors. And the way that the sponsors benefit is because this increased viewership leads to more brand awareness and exposure, which leads to more sales. The way that a creator benefits from this partnership is increased exposure from the org, but also monetary payment from the org. Because I'm from Australia, it would be pretty expensive for an org to keep flying me out to America to film content. And the content that we would have to film between Australia and the USA online would be pretty scuffed and not really that good quality. This is opposed to if I actually lived in the US and we could actually film stuff in person without any issues. Because at the end of the day, filming is a big part of content. Also, orgs usually sign creators for the streaming aspect, and I'm not the best streamer out there. I'm not as good as I used to be because I shifted my focus. I enjoy creating YouTube videos more than streaming because I have much more control over a YouTube video's performance as opposed to a stream's performance. If you have a good idea, good writing, good execution, a video will perform well on YouTube. On the other hand, if you have a good stream layout, good vibes, good content, your stream won't perform well if there's a bigger streamer streaming at the same time as you. This is what I've noticed personally because I notice all of the viewers go to the bigger streamer instead. This is not really in my control. It sort of is, but this is why I enjoy creating YouTube videos instead. And so to simply answer the question I posed at the start of this video, the reason why I haven't signed to an org is because no org has displayed interest in me, which I believe is largely due to the fact that I'm stuck in Australia.